But switching gears a little bit now, joining me to talk more about this eventful day is Armando Pantoja, CTO of Quantum Index, or actually Quant Index. Good morning.
Good morning. How's it going?
It's great to have you here. I mean, it's an exciting day. Grayscale on full display.
Great day.
So, I actually want to talk about the price of Bitcoin, right? We have seen it soar, and it just like over the first 2 months of 2024 went from $40,000 to above $60,000. So, I mean, what do you think is driving this astronomical surge?
Well, there's two things, big things on the horizon, right? One is that the Bitcoin halving is coming up, and that's supposed to happen around April 18th. And what this is that the supply of Bitcoins that come to the market every 10 minutes is cut in half. Now, what that does for the price of Bitcoin is that if the demand remains the same or the demand goes up, the price has to respond, because we know supply and demand, one of the bases of economics, says that this has to happen. So that's one factor. The second factor, which we didn't expect 2 or 3 years ago, was the Bitcoin ETF. Now, we're talking about that today with Grayscale, and a lot of other banks and have ETFs on the horizon, or they've already come out with them. But the Bitcoin ETF is allowing more retail investors access to these Bitcoin products and crypto products. Now, the third reason is institutional interest. Now, with the Bitcoin ETF approval earlier this year, it gives a signal to institutions that there's going to be a surge in retail investment later this year. So the institutions are trying to get in early before the surge happens.
And Bitcoin isn't the only cryptocurrency that's surging these days, right? We're seeing Ether. That's trading at about $3,400 a token. What is fueling this surge?
So there's another big thing, right, is that the Bitcoin halving also affects all what we call altcoins. There's any coin that's not Bitcoin, right? So people are expecting with the price of Bitcoin to rise, Ethereum is going to rise along with it. Historically, that's been the case. Two is that in May of this year, there's a 70-80% chance they will approve an Ethereum ETF. Now, people are looking at Ethereum as an alternative to Bitcoin. And if they saw what happened to Bitcoin back in January when the ETFs were released up until today, you can expect Ethereum to have the same impact on its price because of its ETF. So a lot of people are expecting Ethereum to rise at a higher rate than Bitcoin, me included, over the next 2 years.
And spot Bitcoin ETFs, the reason why Grayscale is here today, they dominated headlines earlier this year, but another Bitcoin event that's on the horizon is Bitcoin halving. Yeah, exactly. Let's talk about that.
So what the Bitcoin halving was, and this is one of the reasons I love Bitcoin so much, is that when the creator of Bitcoin, the creators or whatever, we don't really know exactly who created it, but the person or persons who created Bitcoin created a deflationary mechanism inside the code of Bitcoin. So in order to keep the price stable or to keep the price always going up, they created a mechanism that says that every so often they're going to cut the supply of Bitcoins that come to market by half. So roughly every 4 years, the Bitcoin supply is cut in half. So that was done in order to make sure that Bitcoin was a deflationary currency and it would always go up in value.
Now let's go back to Ethereum, right? What would a potential Ethereum ETF approval mean for investors?
I think that, to be honest, I'm a big believer in Ethereum. I actually think Ethereum one day will be the biggest cryptocurrency in the world. But I think that Ethereum has an easier use case to explain to retail normal investors, right? It's because Ethereum, if we look at Bitcoin like a store of value, gold, we look at Ethereum as oil, right? So oil powers a worldwide transportation system. Well, Ethereum powers a worldwide computer. That's where we have smart contracts. That's where NFTs come from. That's where DAOs, which are decentralized autonomous organizations, can be built on Ethereum. Now, there's other chains out there that can do the same thing, but Ethereum is by far the biggest and most well-known. So the average investor can understand the use case of Ethereum a lot easier.
Yes, and I want to talk about, there are two things that are driving markets right now, and obviously at the forefront of conversation, the rapid development of AI technology. I mean, what do you think about all that, especially when it comes to AI in this space?
Now, I've been talking about this for 2 years. I think that AI is going to be a big driver of narrative in this Bitcoin bull run that's coming, or we're already in it. But I think that AI and blockchain are two technologies that need each other, right? Is that Bitcoin is missing intelligence.
Yes.
I mean, blockchain is missing intelligence. AI is missing resources.
Okay.
So if we combine those two, I think AI and blockchain is going to be a huge driver of financial and technological innovation in the future.
Thank you so much for joining me today. A lot of important takeaways.
Thank you.